Whole Man Academy. Because the world needs strong men. Whole Man Academy is changing the game for men around the world. It's for guys who want to live an epic life of fun and adventure, no matter what. We believe, deep down, all men want to go on their own hero's journey to becoming resilient, confident, fearless, and fulfilled. Listen in to be inspired by guys who don't settle for living a life of mediocrity. This is your call to action and call to adventure. Are you ready?
This is the Whole Man Academy podcast, episode 124. It's just me today. We've got plenty to get through, including a few announcements. So stay tuned. And also at the end, a quick request for help as well. Last podcast with Carl Carnahan, all the way from the States. I had plenty of guys who really enjoyed the podcast. And even for myself, I was inspired by one of the things he said about how can I do it with your partner? You know, never being the person, never being the guy sitting on the sofa, you know, scratching your balls or something random like that when she is trying to do something or she's working. And especially for guys who've got kids. I mean, I know how hard it is. And we have another baby on the way, arriving in just a month's time. But often, you know, after you've had a long day, you might find yourself sitting on the sofa, you know, maybe thinking, oh, I'll watch some football highlights or something like that. And then I'll realize that my partner is, you know, doing the washing or trying to do something or preparing something for the next day for the kids. And it made me just reflect sometimes on when I'm sitting there not doing something when actually I could be helping my partner. So just something to think about. There was loads in that podcast that guys enjoyed. And we're going to be bringing a few snippets out at some point. Some of the guys in Carl's team will probably be doing that. But anyway, so just me today. We've got a couple of things to go through. So firstly, we have spent the last, I would say, 6 weeks redesigning the Whole Man Academy website. Now, there was nothing particularly wrong with it before, but it wasn't optimized. And also, I think we wanted it to be something that you go to and can find your resources from, and also the podcasts and also the blog that we are launching as well. So there's a couple of little changes. Now, if you read the e-letter already, we have changed the e-letter. Now it is called the Whole Man Journal. A couple of reasons why, but I'll give you one. I think it just sounds a lot better. I mean, if you're saying you're just reading your e-letter, the journal is insights to maximize your mindset, body, and performance. And everybody does e-letters, but the Whole Man Journal is something new. So yeah, if you haven't already signed up, we'll always put the link in our show notes, but it's www.wholemanacademy.com/journal. The previous link of /movement still works. So either one of those, but yeah, sign up if you haven't already. And that goes out on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. On the journal page on the Whole Man Academy website, you'll see we've got shitloads of testimonials from guys from all different sectors from the UK, from the US, and around the world, across the world, who have been enjoying it for weeks, months, maybe even years. So I think we've sent like 356 or something like that. So get on board with that if you can. Also, go and check out the new website. There's plenty of stuff on there for you to have a look at, and we're slowly adding a few more pages as we go. We've got another baby arriving very soon, but in between that, I've been working hard on doing a few things myself. And that is, I would say, pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I mean, I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I love coffee. And I would say that I'd become mildly addicted to it. And it's not so much that I felt I needed the caffeine hit, but even just the taste of coffee for me was something that I found, I don't know, at times when I'm just going to start something new, or I've got a couple of hours on my computer, I felt like I had to get a coffee, you know, to kind of kick things off. So I've now gone, it doesn't sound much, but it's gone over a week without coffee. And what can often happen is a couple of days into not having coffee, just like any other drug, stimulant, whatever you want to call it, you'll get withdrawal symptoms. And I've tried this several times before. And after about 2 days, I'd had this fucking splitting headache. And of course, the only thing that generally would sort it out would be to go to the coffee machine and get a nice little, little black Americano or something going on. But I was lucky, actually. Every cloud has a silver lining. 2 weeks ago, I had like a 24-hour bug, and I don't mean the Volkswagen. And do you know what that did? I mean, on the day that I was ill, I spent one night where I was wiped out, and the next day I spent in bed, which is really rare for me. But because that kind of made me not want even to drink coffee or eat or drink anything for like a day or two, it's like maybe I got over the 2-day thing without even kind of trying, because I just had no interest in coffee at all. So when I did go back to it on like day 3, suddenly I thought, do you know what? I can get through this. So yesterday was a week since I've had not alcohol. We're going to get onto that one, but coffee. So it'd be interesting to see what your relationship is like with coffee. I mean, I don't think I ever drunk coffee till I was in my 20s and I started working in the city. And I had guys who would drink, an espresso as soon as you got in the morning, one after lunch, and maybe sometime in your afternoon slump. And that's what got me started. So let me know what it's like for you with coffee or whatever your other coping mechanism is. My other one for me, an update, is alcohol. So I didn't drink from August through till Christmas, which is a pretty bloody good effort, I think. And then Christmas Day, I had a couple of glasses of Bucks Fizz, which is basically like a poor man's version of champagne with some orange juice. And then on New Year's Eve, I think had a glass or two of it in the daytime. And that was it. So I managed then to have 1 pint in February at a birthday lunch, and that's been it. So now it's been another whole month without alcohol. So I'm doing pretty well. So if you're trying to cut things out, I would suggest doing one at a time, especially. So anyway, moving on from those, we've covered the website, coffee, alcohol, baby due in April. So again, if you see some content or we miss an e-letter or two, it's only because there's a baby arriving and I've got more important things to be doing. But I wanted to go through a couple of the social media posts that I did recently, which I had various messages from guys that either resonated or for some it didn't. Doesn't matter. Not everything's going to resonate with you. But here's the first one I spoke about. And I said, you can't moan about not being where you want to be in life, in your health, business, net worth, career, relationships, your body, whatever it is. But you're still binge watching Netflix. You're still watching sports all night or at weekends. You're gaming until silly o'clock, and I'm going to talk about sitting on your computer and playing whatever it is you're doing when you could be doing something, towards your own personal development. Now, sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow. It's a tough one to kind of admit yourself, but I'm sure I did it before, where I'd moaned that I wasn't where I wanted to be in life, but I managed to find time to watch football highlights, football on a Sunday, maybe 2 or 3 games, and then wonder why I hadn't got anything done. So it's not to say you shouldn't ever do those things. And it's not to say you shouldn't do them unless you've got everything in your life sorted and you've become a whole man. But just, doing a little assessment of your time, how your time is spent, and say, do you know what? If I'm not where I want to be in life, could I spend my time better doing something? I mean, great example is if you're saying you haven't got time to work out, but if you still got time to watch telly overnight, watch football or any other sports. I mean, grab a kettlebell. Don't say you shouldn't be watching the sports, but you could say, do you know what? For the first half, for the first 20 minutes, I'm going to do some kettlebell swings and press ups and stuff. So you're still enjoying what you want, but you're getting some exercise in. Or one of those nights, you could be saying to yourself, do you know what? I end up watching football when I was single, let's say. I mean, there's basically football on every night now. So I could conceivably watch Monday night football. This is in the UK for the Premier League. And then you might have a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night where it might be Champions League or more Premiership football or FA Cup or whatever. And you'd be like, wow, how many hours do I spend watching this? Which is fine to watch it, but you're not doing anything particularly kind of productive and you could be doing something more worthwhile. So just have a think about that. How are you spending your time? So the second post I put was, if you want to get ahead in life, take action instead of reading more books, watching more YouTube videos, doing course after course. Now, I know myself, I've got a lot of books on the bookshelf that haven't even been read called personal development, which really means shelf development. And I've done it before where you end up just watching YouTube video after YouTube video and actually taking action on things. So whatever it is that you're looking for, again, could be body, could be mind, could be working on something else, whatever it is, a side adventure. At some point, you have to actually pull the trigger and get on with it, even if you haven't got all the answers. So just something to consider, whatever you're working on, get on with it. Now, this is more of an interesting one. And I wrote, some people will fucking hate you no matter what you do, say, write, create, achieve. And actually, the other day, I got a message on Instagram, and it's rare I get feedback, or call it feedback, criticism. And the guy wrote, something like, the Whole Man Academy is typical English shit, which I wasn't really sure what that meant, because to state the obvious, I am from England, and probably 80% of the guys that listen to and read our journals, listen to podcasts and what have you, are maybe from England. But I just thought it was interesting, because you're like, well, it just reminds you that you can't keep everybody happy. Not everybody's going to like what you do. So however you dress, whatever you look like, whatever you say, whoever you support, blah, 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 whatever you're going to do, there's someone that won't like it. So you need to be prepared for that. Podcast 118, where we said, you can't be a delicate little pipsqueak when it comes to this stuff. You are going to, at some point in your life, get criticism, and whether you like it or not, you're just going to have to deal with it. So I think that's important. And I said the important thing there is to find your brotherhood and ignore all the rest. And what I mean by that is, find the people that resonate with you. Maybe it be online people or people that you're hanging around with as well. And actually just hang around with those people and don't worry about what other people are saying. I mean, if you're getting constant criticism about something, then maybe you can have a look, assess where you are and address it. But ultimately, you've got to walk your own path. And I think that's what's really important. So podcasts coming up. Again, we'll have podcasts every 2 weeks. We've got a couple of great guests, but there'll be more short podcasts of me just talking to you and reminding you about certain things you could do in life. On that, there's someone in my life who has had a few changes recently. And I've suggested to him that he's already working through our energy protocol course, but now he's got the time to focus on himself. He's really knuckle down and say, do you know what? How can I improve my fitness? How can I improve my mindset? How can I upgrade the people that I hang around with? Who am I listening to? What am I consuming? And that doesn't include news. So it's just something for you to consider as well. Have a look at all those things I've just mentioned and think, could I spend a bit more time working on stuff for you, which is going to benefit you for days, weeks, months, and years ahead? Anyway, apart from that, if you've got any podcast suggestions for people that I should interview, let me know. I'm always happy to assess. And again, if it's someone who doesn't quite work, then don't be offended, but we'll sniff those blokes out and we'll try and get something in the diary to record something with those. So before we go, just a reminder, go and check the website out. Again, a lot of you will have had a look already because I sent it on our Telegram group and I'll be putting it in the Whole Man Journal. But yeah, have a look. If you find any wiggly bugs and stuff like that, let me know. And again, reminder to sign up for the Whole Man Journal. It comes out every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and you can go all over the website and you'll find links for that. Right, that'll do for now. Enjoy your weekend and I'll speak to you later. Oh, and remember, the world needs strong men.
Thanks for listening. Remember to sign up to our game-changing weekly e-letter that's read by men around the world. Sign up at wholemanacademy.com/movement. Until next time.